So welcome everybody. We are week 7 of the Disrupt Space Artist Takeover, and this week we are meeting Marlon Stewart, who is whereabouts in London are you based at the moment, Marlon?
I'm in South London, so I'm in Greenwich.
So kind of just down the road from where Lee has been based.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But it's a nice, cool area. I mean, nice people, got a lot of things around us, which is really helpful. Lockdown hasn't been that hard for us.
That's good.
Nice area, yeah.
And how's your practice been going whilst you've been under lockdown?
It's been good. I mean, my practice has been really good in regards to doing the digital artwork. I've had a lot of inspiration with a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. So that's really helped fueled some ideas that I've started creating and started to put together.
Amazing. Oh, well, I look forward to hearing more about those in a bit. First of all, I wanted to find out a little bit more about your journey to becoming a digital artist and joining Disrupt Space.
I traditionally started off just drawing. So I've always been drawing. I've drawn from the age of 5 years old. And it's always something that's always been very therapeutic for me. So I've always just loved drawing, just relaxing, putting on some music, and then just chilling, just drawing whatever. First started off with Dragon Ball Z characters, so one of my favorite anime. I started drawing a lot of that. I haven't really studied art in any other way. The only time I studied art was in secondary school. I got a D, I think it was, for art. So I wasn't really studying art. I was just doing it. So it's something I really loved. And it was 2015, if I believe, where I stopped doing traditional drawings in regards to using a pencil and pen, which I still can do. But I started to change my medium to do digital artwork, as I felt I didn't have enough space. That's the main reason. I didn't have enough space for all the pens, the pencils, the canvases, the art pads. And then I just started doing just digital work because I thought, again, I have everything on the computer. I was introduced to it by one of my dad's friends who said, oh, you should try this. Did one drawing and I was like, nope, forget about this. This is crap. This is hard. I cannot do this. I don't know how you look at a screen and make your hand do all the work without looking at what you're drawing. It was so confusing. And then just kept practicing over and over again to eventually to the state that I'm at right now. It took me a good month or two to really get a hang of it, because when drawing traditionally with pens and pencils, I knew how to move the light in certain areas, because I work a lot in black and white, so I know how to use shading in different tones and textures when I'm drawing. But it took a few hours to kind of understand the shading, how to shade on a computer. That's really weird, because everything's pixels, everything's pixelated. So every single pixel has its own depth. So I had to understand I need to zoom right into the actual picture and start shading in. I can be working on 2 to 3 pixels to make it dark. Then I come out and I think, oh, too dark. Then I have to go back in, and then I had to make it a bit lighter. So it's really intimate, but really, again, a bit hard to get the right opacity sometimes for the right skin texture, because my artwork is photorealism. Sometimes it takes a bit of a while to get the actual right textures when I'm trying to achieve.
Tell us about that process then, Mike. So how do you, from the very, from creating the first kind of canvas on your screen, like how do you develop up your pictures? Do you work from photographs?
It's mainly just through imagination, really. It usually starts from music. So I'll be just listening to, I'm a big R&B fan. I love all genres of music, but I've accepted that I'm an R&B person. I've said it for a very long time. Love R&B, that's my thing. So I'll just listen to all different types of R&B, and then it'll be a poignant line in there where I think, that's very interesting. And then I'll kind of create my own narrative. From there, I would then do a basic line drawing of the idea. It's kind of like coloring in. So I just draw a line drawing of what I actually want. And then I'll start filling it in with the different shades. I'll always start from the eyes. I have a thing for doing eyes. And again, I haven't studied arts, but I know a bit about art. I always told never start with the eyes. You always start with the head and you work your way in. I don't work like that at all. I always work from the eyes and then mold out the face how I want it to be from there.
And these characters that you're creating, so you're saying they're kind of conjured out of your imagination, but are they kind of, where do you get your references from?
I have a very, very active imagination. So my mind is always just going around, playing on things all the time. So when I think of an image, like for example, Kids and Crown is one of my series, and it's always based on young Black children and just depicting their beauty. Because I want our young Black kids to understand that you're beautiful, like you are a beautiful creation. Your nose is beautiful, your lips are beautiful, your eyes are beautiful, your skin is magnificent. And I have lots of nieces, nephews. So I kind of think I don't want to reference them because I don't want to pay them if I take their pictures, really.
Would
But
they ask to be paid?
they will. I mean, my family they think about the money first.
Yeah.
But because I don't want to pay them, probably I just take like inspiration from their type of looks and just kind of incorporate it. So I may think of maybe my little niece's eyes, may think of my cousin's hair, may think about my son's cheeks, or my daughter's like baby pictures. I don't really draw more teenage girls or anything. I draw like mainly kids or women, older women. So my daughter's a teenager, so I don't really use her references. But yeah, so I was just imagining that and just that kind of conjure up something together.
I love that motivation for wanting to kind of portray really beautiful, powerful portraits of young Black boys and girls. When you show these portraits to, you know, your nieces, your nephews, I mean, I understand your children, your sons, how many months old?
My son is 2 months old right
Yeah.
now. 2 months, well, 9 weeks, but yeah, two
Yeah.
months.
Oh, so he's still cultivating his art appreciation, right? But like maybe your daughter as well. Like when they see these images, you know, what response do you get from these young people around you?
My son, even though he's 2 months, we have a one of the pictures is in my living room space, and he stares at it. He literally just stares. He loves it, and I think for me, the biggest part of people actually appreciate, especially young people, is when we was at the Disrupt Space exhibition, so that we had in Brixton department store. That was we had a couple of kids from Lillian Bailey's secondary school, and now Lillian Bailey Secondary School is a school I grew up next to when I was young, and it always had a reputation for being a not good school, a school that's mainly because a lot of bad youths, as they say. But they've reformed. They're a really good school, great educational things have come out of there, great grades and so forth. And they had a couple of kids come, and they were looking at the pictures, and they are also inspiring artists too. So to know that they've been portrayed in these artworks, and they know that they can do it as well, was really uplifting for me as well. And I got to speak to one of the teachers there too, who wanted to get these kids into the art and get kids to understand that you are represented.
Yeah, great. And so what's happened to your practice now since that first kind of public sharing of your work? Have you seen it kind of evolve over the last, what was that, like 6 months ago, 7 months ago?
Yeah, so the exhibition, I think it was last year October, so many months ago, and since then my artwork has evolved in regards to the detail that I've added into doing the artwork. So again, I really enjoy detail. I'm just a sucker for detail. I can look at a piece of artwork and it could be flat flawless, but I'm more amazed by the small little things that's been added into it. So my main thing is focusing more on hair. I love doing black hair, representing black hair, the eyes, skin texture, different tones. I've also tried to change some of the stories that I have in some of my artwork, and also incorporate a bit of color. So at the current moment, I'm working on a collection, a five piece collection, and yeah, I'm incorporating a little bit of color because again, I'm very black and white when it comes to my artwork, but I think the color that I'm adding is just going to be a representation of where I'm at and what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to display.
So these color pieces, are we likely to see some of them in the Disrupt Space exhibition Merge, which should be hopefully opening later this year, if not next year?
Me and Nola have a collaboration piece that we should be unveiling then. It's a mix of my digital style and her paint style. It's amazing. We've only shown like a little sliver in it on our Instagram pages because I don't feel that it's ready to just go out there because it needs to be unveiled. So that's definitely going to
So you're
be
saving that for a Merge, i.e.
100%. That's going to be. I can't wait for everyone to see it. So that's going to be amazing. Yeah.
I love that idea. So if those of you watching don't know Lola, that's Lola Betiku, who's another Disrupt Space artist, and she did the takeover like a couple of weeks ago. So check through the Instagram feed and get to know her work, and that combination of her use of color and your approach to tone and the contrast and the messaging and the story. It's just going to be a beautiful combination. I can't wait to see what you've created. Tell us a little bit more before you started experimenting with color. I'd love to hear a little bit more about your love of the black and white image.
I just think black and white images they show power. They show a lot of power, and especially the contrast, showing the depth of our skins through black and white for me is something that I just love exploring, whether it be a darker tone skin, a lighter tone skin. I want it to be clear cut where the story lies. So for example, I have a art piece called Glorious, where it is a darker skinned woman wearing a head wrap, looking up to the sky. And it symbolizes the beauty that it comes with our skin. So I've made that image really dark. So it's a really dark image, and it just shows the little bumps, the little headlines, everything that's on her skin. And I feel that with black and white, I can really convey that and show that it's just about our skin tone. Our skin tone is gorgeous, and black and white really exhilarates that and makes that more exuberant.
I wanted to hear a little bit more from you about why you think it's important that there are artists such as yourself. I mean, it might seem obvious to you and I, right? But like, why it's important to be putting out these images and creating our own images and sharing them through avenues like Disrupt Space.
I mean, I think it's very important to show the beauty of our black skin, because we're an amazing culture. Black people are amazing. We're magic. I feel that black people, when I say that we are culture, we create so many things that life just takes in and we are a part of. And I want us to be shown in a light where we are beautiful. Do not let anyone let you know that your hair is not beautiful. Our hair is gorgeous, all different textures. Our noses are beautiful, our lips, our eyes, and especially our skin. This is a God-given blessing. And I just want us to be shown. And that's why I always do it. I mean, again, I have illustrations and pictures where I show other different ethnicities and so forth, but my passion is black people. I don't want to alienate anyone, and I don't want anyone to feel like that we don't love all. But just the simplest thing as looking at the issues that's going on in the world right here, and we have what they call far right anti-protesters. Those are the words I use to come to stop to Black Lives Matter, and the person of non-black was being attacked, right? And yet we save that person who don't think that our life matters. We're beautiful, and we're so compassionate, and the things that we've gone through, we need to be displayed. I've seen many memes that said that you messed with the last generation, and that's true. We're not doing this anymore. 2020 is the start of something completely new. And
Yeah.
again, and Disrupt Space is definitely going to be there to show that this is the creativity, these are the times, this is the beauty that we're going, this is the horror that we're going through, this is the beauty that's coming out of it. And yes, that's how I feel. And I feel that we need to be represented and shown in a beautiful light. And Disrupt Space does that. It shows us in all our creativity, it shows us all our wonder, it shows us all our beauty.